Good afternoon and good evening, everybody. I want to thank you for taking time today to watch this presentation by Railbookers of Life on Board via Rail, Canadian Rail Vacations. We have an exciting presentation in store for you today, so sit back, relax, and let's get on board and explore Canada together. My name is Kyle Smith. I am your host today. I'm also one of the business development executives here at Railbookers, and I'll explain exactly who we are, what we do, and help outline exactly what a Canadian rail vacation will feel like. But before we get started, if you have a pen and paper handy, please take note of our reservations telephone number at the bottom of your screen at 888-829-3040. And please note our website at www.railbookers.com. There you'll find all the exciting information I'll be sharing with you today and much more. Now, just to the right of you in the GoToWebinar box, you will find a Via Rail Vacations downloadable flyer that I would encourage you to download to your computers. It'll have some of the packages that I'll be presenting to you today, our reservations telephone number, and more. And I would encourage you to download that. So if you decide to give us a call to inquire about your next dream vacation, you can have that handy and ready, or you can take it to your local travel agent. If you decide to book all your vacations through travel agents, all of our discounts, everything we offer, you can get directly either through us or right through your local travel agent. And as this webinar is being recorded and done live, if you have any questions throughout the webinar presentation, don't hesitate to put those into the question box. I am monitoring that as we go along here, and I will be more than happy to provide you an answer at the end of the presentation. Now, a little bit about who we are. So Railbookers is a part of a US tour operator called the Yankee Leisure Group Incorporated, which is probably a company you've never heard of. And our firm is an independent rail tour operator that does train vacations all over the United States, Canada, Europe, Asia, South Africa, as well as Australia. So no matter anywhere in the world you're looking to go to experience the world by rail, Railbookers, the Yankee Leisure Group, we can assist you all the way through. So if you're considering an Amtrak vacation here in the USA, you may want to give Amtrak Vacations a call. They have top destinations are such as our national parks, for example, as well as our major metropolitan cities. Now, Railbookers will do everything international for you. So Canada, Europe, Asia, and we have everything in store for you, which I will be sharing with you today. These are the 2020 brochures that are ready for you now. You can go right online, request a copy, or give us a call, and we'll be more than happy to get those out to you. Now, today's presentation is specifically on Railbookers with Via Rail Vacations. And we do have a dedicated brochure for Via Rail that you can request online or give us a call. It'll have the majority of our Canadian packages, and you'll learn a lot about us by having these. Our three other brochures are going to be for Europe with Trenitalia Vacations for Italy, Eurostar Vacations by Railbookers for Western Europe, and our generic brochure, which will have a couple of packages of all of our major destinations. Now here is the Canadian network map. This can be found on the inside cover page of our Via Rail Vacations brochure. And as you can see here, the Via Rail goes all over Canada. It'll start, for example, in Vancouver, all the way over into Toronto, which is the most famous route that Via Rail currently carries, as well as up through the Northeast Corridor. So no matter where you want to go in Canada, I would imagine that'll include the Canadian Rockies, perhaps going across country to Toronto or the other way around. Let us know what you're looking to do. We'll recommend one of our packages or build a package for you. Now, I know the presentation is on Canada today, but I do want to highlight the European network map. As European rail is very complex, this is what we're known for in the travel industry as a tour operator, is our rail expertise. So whether it's in Canada, no matter where you want to go, or in Europe, if your travel desires lead you across the pond to Europe, we can fulfill your dream vacations. We know where the rails go and where they do not go. And our common questions from customers are, I'd like to go from Spain to Portugal, to France, to the UK, whatever the case may be. We can certainly do that. Or perhaps you're looking for the most scenic route to get from one place to another. our team is more than equipped to assist you with that because we can provide you with rail expertise. So what is a rail vacation? Well, it's no different than any other vacation package you've seen online. We include the transportation, accommodations, ferries and transfers, and your sightseeing activities. So for transportation, that's going to obviously be the rail journey. So whether you're looking to travel just in the Canadian Rockies or you want to go across Canada and visit multiple regions and multiple cities, we will handle the rail journey for you. We'll give you all the pricing, all the schedules, and the best routes available to get from point A to point B. We'll take care of your hotels as well. We offer 3, 4, 5-star rated properties at all of our destinations. Now, one thing we're able to offer you that you're not going to be able to find anywhere else is a 24-month booking window when it comes to international rail. So for example, the Via Rail up in Canada, Via Rail releases its fares and schedules 11 months in advance. So that's a pretty good booking window. We actually get it 24 months in advance because we are Via Rail's official tour operator doing business as Via Rail Vacations. Same thing with the Amtrak here in the United States, as well as all the high-speed rail companies throughout Europe, as well as the luxury trains. They give us all their fares and schedules 24 months out in advance. So that makes booking easy, especially if you're trying to plan well in advance. We're able to get the fares and schedules in Europe a lot further out compared to the general public. And that's what leads a lot of travel agents as well as a lot of customers to Railbookers. Now, we're also a flexible tour operator. So every package that I'm going to be sharing with you today are completely customizable. So we can chop them out, we can add more in, we can add additional rail, we can remove destinations and create your own itinerary. So please keep that in mind as I'm sharing with you our Canadian packages. If you need to customize them to your liking, let us know what that is, and our team will be happy to do that for you. Here is a visualization of what I mean by our customization. We have a very popular European package called the Dublin, London, and Paris tour. And as you can see here, on this particular journey, you would see 3 amazing European countries. And a common request we get from customers are they want us to break out the nights in Dublin and put them in Cork and Killarney and Galway. It's still the same number of nights, but at 3 different cities. So if, for example, if that's something you're looking for us to do, let us know, and we'll go ahead and customize accordingly. Go beyond the port cities. Now, this particular slide here is going to be in conjunction with a river cruise or an ocean cruise anywhere in the world. We all know how popular cruises are to Alaska, throughout Europe, the river cruises along the Rhine River or along the Danube. So if that's something you're considering next year in 2020, why not extend the vacation outside the port city and maximize the time spent abroad? We do a lot of these customized itineraries in Switzerland, right in line with the Rhine River cruise. So I have 2 packages here that I will not take the time to go through entirely, but if you're going to be doing a Rhine River cruise sometime in the future, keep this in mind. You can maximize your vacation by traveling outside the port city, and rail is usually a very good way of doing that. Now, these are some of the other major cruise ports around the world where we do a lot of pre and post cruise travel. Vancouver is a great destination for this as it's one of the largest cruise ports in the world. The Canadian Rockies are in the backyard to Vancouver. So if you're looking to go to Alaska next year on a cruise, why not take a few days and go check out the Canadian Rockies and you'll have an unbelievable experience to the likes of which you've never seen before. The Canadian Rockies, as I'm going to share with you today, is one of the most beautiful sightseeing you'll ever do in the world. Now, a lot of our webinars, if you've ever participated in any of our webinars, we talk a lot about the onboard experience because most people usually do not associate a train and a vacation. Most people think of rail as simply transportation to get from point A to point B. And Via Rail certainly has that ability. Of course, that is Canada's Amtrak, in other words. And if you're looking for just a straight train ticket because you're traveling on business, Via Rail will handle that. But if you're looking to really see the country, Via Rail is a great way too, because you'll see the country in a way you cannot see if you're driving, especially if you're flying. And so I do want to spend a few minutes on the Via Rail onboard accommodations. So on the Via Rail, your first option is an economy coach seat. Now, compared to an airline, economy coach seating is a great way to travel on board a train for a couple of reasons. Number one, the ability to roam the train. If you're sitting in a coach seat on Via Rail, you're not stuck in your seat like you would be on an airplane. You're free to get up out of your chair at any time. You can go over to the observation car, you can go to the snack car, and you'll have plenty of legroom at your seat. The seat itself is 50% larger than a coach seat on an airplane. You can recline back at a 45-degree angle. There'll be a footrest in front of you with a tray, so you can have your meals at your seats. And there's no middle seat. You're either on the aisle or you're on the window. So that's going to give you even more legroom and plenty of space to store your luggage. And now, of course, the main attraction, of course, is the scenery. You're going to see the country in a way you cannot see anywhere else. Now, if you're going to be traveling overnight on the Via Rail, and that's usually the case with our Via Rail vacations packages, you're going to be spending the night on the train. Your first upgrade after coach is going to be a sleeping berth. And I always recommend this, even for the customers who are trying to keep their budget within reason when it comes to travel. And the price differential between the two is really not that much, but the amenities you're going to receive are tenfold compared to the economy coach seating. For example, you're going to have a full bed to sleep in at night. So you'll have a couple of day chairs that'll face each other during the daylight hours. At night, the Via Rail room car attendant assigned to you will get your beds ready for sleeping time at night while you're heading off to the dining car for dinner. Your room and your berth will be ready to go for you for nighttime travel. You'll have curtains that'll separate the top from the bottom at night, giving you a little bit of privacy. Now, if that's a good amenity to have, imagine what it's like to have a shower on board the train, because that's also included in this reservation. The shower is just a few steps down the hall and shared with the other berths and cabins. And that is really helpful to have on an overnight trip, as you can imagine. You'll also have all your meals included with your reservation in the dining car. So you get a lot of great amenities by simply doing a simple upgrade to a sleeping berth. Now, Via Rail offers cabins, which are fully enclosed, of course, giving you plenty of privacy. And Via Rail offers a cabin for one for the solo traveler, as well as a cabin for two. Now, a cabin for one will have a day chair, a toilet and sink inside the room, so you're going to have some privacy. The shower, as you can see here, is just a few steps down the hall, but you are going to have a private cabin for yourself. All your meals are included in the reservation in the dining car, and your room car attendant will help you with whatever you need while you're on board the train. Now, if you're going to be traveling with your spouse or with a friend or whatever the case may be, you may want to look at getting yourself a cabin for two. Very spacious, of course, and for two passengers, an easy step ladder to get into the second to the bunk bed of the the top bunk of the bunk bed. And again, your meals are included in the reservation. You'll be given a garment bag, which will have a bathing robe, slippers, your towels, your soap and shampoo. And it's just like staying at a hotel, except you're on a moving train. Now, one of the best benefits of the cabin, of course, is you're not confined to it like you would be on a coach seat in an airplane. You're able to roam the train. You can go to the observation car or to the snack car at any given time. Now, if you're a traveler that likes to have luxury when you travel, and especially going across Canada, you may want to look at the Prestige class, Via Rail's highest upgrade. And this is definitely for the 5-star traveler. The amenities are absolutely 6-star status. The cabin itself, the dimensions of it are 50% larger than a cabin for two. You're going to have a standard queen bed, a full bath and shower inside the cabin, your very own room car attendant, as well as your own observation car and a bar and lounge area. So you get far more greater amenities compared to the cabins and the berth. And you are completely cut off at the back of the train from everybody else. So you have to have a special reservation in order to get into the Prestige cabins. Now, the exception here with the Prestige is you have to be on the train for a minimum of 2 nights consecutively going the same direction in order to get this accommodation. So if you're going to only be on the train for 1 night, this will unfortunately not be available to you. But if you're going to go across country, that's at least 3 or 4 nights. You're able to get the prestige class, which is going to enhance the quality of your rail vacation. Now, dining on board the Via Rail is a fun experience itself. So breakfast, lunch, and dinner, your reservations will be made by your room car attendant. And so all you would do is just notify them at what time you'd like to have breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and wait for the PA announcement to head over into the dining car. The meals are chef prepared, made fresh. And so the menu changes by the day, and the staff on board the Via Rail are able to accommodate most nutritional needs if that's something you're looking for. Now, breakfast could be anything from eggs Benedict to pancakes to omelets, cereals, and things of that nature. Lunch is anything from BLT sandwiches to hamburgers to Cobb salads, and dinner's a little bit more formal, so you can expect to see on the menu the catch of the day, perhaps a filet mignon or some pot roast, some lamb, which is what's pictured here. The food is quite good on board the Via Rail, and probably the best amenity with dining on the train is getting to know your fellow passengers. You're going to be sitting with a couple that you've obviously never met before and learning about making friendships and learning about their travel experiences, which was by far one of my most favorite memorable moments when I was on board the train. So dining on the train is classy, it's fun, and it's very easy. Team travels via rail. So each year our company sends our employees across the globe to experience our packages and the destinations up close and personal so we can give you that expertise that you're looking for. So when you give us a call, you're going to be speaking to a travel consultant who has been to the destinations or been on the trains that you're inquiring about, and we'll be able to give you the ins and outs of what you need to know when it comes to taking a rail vacation. So without further ado, I'd like to go ahead and introduce to you our top trending packages for 2020. The first one is the Canadian Rail Experience from Toronto to Vancouver. Now, with our products, we do include what we call rail experience packages, where these packages are more focused on time spent on the train versus time spent at a hotel in a major city. So we get customers who want this all the time, more time on the train, less time at a hotel. This is a package for you if that's something you're looking at. Now, this particular journey is going to begin with a 1-night stay at a hotel in Toronto, and this serves more as a pre-night leading up to your departure on the Via Rail. Now, if you do not fly, please let our team know that, because we can put you on the Amtrak from your home station up to Toronto, which is one of the few Canadian cities that takes in the Amtrak coming in from the United States. So no matter where you're at in the country, you do have an Amtrak station near you. There's over 500 of them nationwide, and we can easily arrange that for you since we are rail experts after all for a 1-night stay. Now in Toronto, it's a very unique city. It's very interesting. It's home to the Toronto Film Festival each year. And we do include a hop-on, hop-off tour. So that would be a double-decker bus with the open roof. If you've ever been to New York City or Chicago, then no doubt you've seen those in the downtown area. You can take that all the way around to check out the CN Tower, which is pictured here, and many other great iconic destinations, and that'll serve as your transportation. Now, the next day, the rail journey is going to commence as you make your way west across Canada on board the Via Rail. Now, again, this is not just transportation from one city to another. It's part of the experience. It's part of the vacation. It's a great opportunity for you to sit back, relax, enjoy some real quality time with your friends and with your family, and take in the beautiful scenery of Canada. So you're going to have a 4-night journey across Canada. Now, that may seem a little ambitious, especially if you've never been on a train before, but let me tell you something, the scenery is breathtaking because it changes by the day. So each day you're not seeing the same thing. When you depart Toronto, it'll be a little more industrial as you get out into the countryside, and then you're going to be out in farmland, so you're going to have the rolling hills, the mountains far off, And then the following day, the terrain will get a little bit more extreme, I guess would be the best way to put it, where you're going through bridges and tunnels. And then as you enter the Canadian Rockies, you're going to see the snow-capped mountains, the crystal clear waterfalls, and the glimmering lakes as you head through the heart of the Canadian Rockies into Toronto for a 2-night stay. Now, when you arrive into Vancouver, Vancouver that is, I think I said Toronto a second ago. When you arrive into Vancouver, you'll make your way to your hotel for a 2-night stay. We will include a hop-on, hop-off tour for you, so you can have your basic transportation covered, as well as admission into the Vancouver Lookout, which is an observation tower downtown. And then wherever your travels lead you from Vancouver, but your journey with Railbookers will end right there in Vancouver. Common requests we get from customers are the Amtrak to Toronto and back home out of Vancouver. So let us know if that's something you're looking for. But to recap the Canadian Rail experience, it's an 8-day itinerary, 3-night hotel accommodations, and 4 nights on board the Via Rail train. The next package is one of our most popular, the Grand Circle of the Canadian Rockies. Now, this is round trip out of Vancouver, so it makes for a great pre or post cruise travel in conjunction with an Alaskan cruise. The Rockies are in the backyard out of Vancouver, so it is not uncommon for us to hear from customers that are wanting to do some pre and post travel. So this journey will commence in Vancouver for a 1-night stay, and that's more of a pre-night than anything, so making it easy for you to come into Canada. Again, Vancouver is one of the few cities in Canada that allows the Amtrak direct service, so if you do not fly, let us know. Common requests for our customers that are in the West Coast of the United States. And so arriving into Vancouver for a 1-night stay. The following day, the rail journey is going to begin as you'll make your way to Banff on board the luxurious Rocky Mountaineer. Now, Rocky Mountaineer is one of the most famous luxury trains in the world, and it is not the commuter service like Via Rail. It's a privately owned train, and it only stays in the northwest corner of Canada. So if you're looking to go across country, Rocky Mountaineer will not run that service. That would be Via Rail. But the Rocky Mountaineer is going to give you a great opportunity to see the Rockies up close and personal while you're enjoying luxury. We can book both the Silver and the Gold Leaf class for you. The Silver Leaf is the basic accommodations. Everything is all inclusive. Your meals, they're brought to you at your chairs. Seeing how this is considered luxury train, there is a dress code, business casual and more formal. If you upgrade to the Gold Leaf, you'll be sitting on the second level of the train. You'll have your own observation car as well as your own dining car. And of course, with the panoramic windows, you're going to be able to take in the views of the Canadian Rockies up close and personal. Now, the Rocky Mountaineer only travels during the daytime, so the furthest you can get when you're heading to Banff would be Kamloops, and that's halfway between Vancouver and Banff. What'll happen there is the train will roll into Kamloops, you'll get off, Rocky Mountaineer will escort you to a hotel for the evening, and then the following day they'll bring you back to the train as you continue your journey into Banff. Upon arrival into Banff, you will stay 2 nights at a hotel. Again, our hotels are 3, 4, and 5-star rated properties. I always recommend the Fairmont, which is on the northeast corner of Banff. Very luxurious property that sits up on a hill, and that will provide you with wonderful views of the entire city. Now we're going to include the Banff gondola ride, which is pictured here. You'll go to the top of Sulphur Mountain and get great views, aerial views of the entire Rockies. There's a museum up there with a restaurant, so you can spend a few hours on top of the mountain if you'd like. They have hiking trails and a lot of activities you can do up there. Now the next destination would be by far the most popular, and that would be a 1-night stay at Lake Louise. So Railbookers will pick you up at your hotel in Banff and drive you over to Lake Louise. Take about 30, 45 minutes to get over there, and you'll stay 1 night at the Fairmont Hotel, which is pictured here right up along the lake. Now this is the closest hotel to Lake Louise. There are some other lodges in the general vicinity, but this is where everybody wants to be for obvious reasons. we're able to get a space, and we have designated rooms for us at this hotel, so we can get clearance at the highly coveted Lakeview rooms during the summer travel months, which is peak season up there in Canada. And so it's a one-night stay. You have plenty of opportunities to take a nap, walk around the lake. You can go canoeing out on the lake. There's a lot of water activities you can do, especially if you're traveling during the peak summer months. Now, after Lake Louise, you're going to be picked up at your hotel at the Fairmont, and you're going to be driven to Jasper. But along the way, you're going to get to do the Icefields Parkway tour, which is a lot of fun. So you're going to deviate from the freeway, get on an ice explorer, and head out onto a real-life glacier, which is a lot of fun. Absolutely beautiful too. You can drink the water right out of the glacier. So bring a water bottle with you. I guarantee you it'll be the cleanest, most purest water you've ever had. There's a sky viewing platform as well, which is not pictured here, but that'll give you an aerial 360-degree view of the entire glacier. You'll continue your journey north into Jasper, where you'll arrive later in the afternoon for a one-night stay. Now, it's more of a forced overnight. The Via Rail is coming from Toronto, so the next day it will arrive in Jasper, where you'll get on board for the overnight journey into Vancouver, where you'll stay one more night at a hotel, and that will complete your grand circle of the Canadian Rockies. So this is a great itinerary. It's 9 days, 7-night hotel accommodations, and 1 night on board the Via Rail. The last package I want to share with you is by far our largest one, the Grand Canada Coast to Coast Eastbound. Now this journey is, if you want to see Canada for the first time and you want to see it all, look no further than this package. Now this journey is going to begin in Vancouver, heading east. If you're in the east coast of the US and you'd like to do it in reverse order, no problem. We have it flipped around for you as well. And so the journey will start with a 2-night stay in Vancouver with the same activities that we've already outlined before. You will then board the Via Rail for the overnight trip into Jasper. Now, one of the best things about Via Rail, especially along the Canadian line going across country, is the schedule itself. The train will depart out of Vancouver late afternoon. So the following morning, when you wake up, you're going to be in the heart of the Canadian Rockies, and you're still going to have 4 or 5 hours of daylight travel before you enter Jasper. And so you're going to see the Rockies in a way you cannot see if you're driving, especially if you're flying. And so you're just going to be in beautiful, wonderful nature as you make your way to Jasper. You'll spend a total of 2 nights in Jasper, 1 day upon arrival, and the second day after your 2 nights in Banff. So like before, we're going to pick you up at your hotel. We're going to drive you to Banff. You'll spend all day going through the Rockies. You'll spend 2 nights here in Banff with the tours we've already included. You'll still get to take a day trip out to Lake Louise. We call that the Lakes and Waterfalls tour, where you'll get to see the outskirts of Banff as well as Lake Louise. The following day, you'll get picked up again and driven back into Jasper. You'll do the Icefields Parkway tour along the way, so you can see that glacier. And then you'll spend your second night in Jasper waiting for the Via Rail, which is coming from Vancouver, which will then take you across country to Toronto. So you'll have 3 consecutive nights on board the train. When you arrive into Toronto, you'll be in town for 2 nights. So when you exit the train, you can make your way to the hotel. Again, our hotels are 3, 4, 5-star rated properties. They're between 1 to 3 miles of the train station, so it's going to be real easy for you to figure out how to get to your hotel. And of course, you have the day to roam the city on your own and do the things that you want to do. The following day, you're going to take a day trip out to Niagara Falls, and we handle the transportation through Greyhound. They're going to come and pick you up. They're going to take you out to Niagara Falls for the day, and it's practically guaranteed in the late afternoon that you'll see a rainbow over the Niagara Falls Canada side, which is what we sell, so you're not going to want to miss that. Lunch is included on the tour and round-trip transportation from your hotel. The next destination is Montreal, and that's a full day trip on the Via Rail heading up through the Northeast. Upon arrival into Montreal, you'll get checked into your hotel for a 2-night stay. On the day of arrival, you're free to roam the city and do the things you want to do. The following day, you will take the motor coach trolley tour around the city, which you'll learn a lot about the history. You'll see the top iconic spots. And that tour lasts only about an hour and a half, so you're still going to have a full day to roam Montreal and do what you want to do. Your next destination is going to be Quebec City, which is known for its French architecture, the French cuisine, as well as the home manufacturing city of maple syrup. And so when you're in Quebec City, you're going to learn about all of that. And a lot of great French restaurants can be found here. The motor coach trolley tour is the activity we have scheduled for you that will take you around the city just like it did in Montreal, and then leaving you plenty of downtime to rest or walk around and do whatever it is you would like to do. The final destination on this great package is Halifax, and that'll be a 1-night trip on board the Via Rail again, making your way to the Upper East Side of Canada. So you'll get checked in for a 1-night stay. And there's no sightseeing activities in this particular city, so you're free to walk around the city. It's really known for its seafood restaurants because you're right up on the water there. You can see a lot of the lighthouses, and there are tours that go out there that we can also arrange for you, but we do not include them on the package as is. So that is the Grand Canada Coast to Coast. And it's worth noting too that we can always customize this. If 17 days is too long for you to travel, we can always scale back the number of nights or remove some of the cities to shorten it for you. That's a common request from our customers. So as we wind down our presentation here, some other popular itineraries for you to choose from would be Italy, Spain, Norway, Switzerland, and our European Grand Tour. You can find all these online at railbookers.com. If you go to our website, you can check out trip planning. A lot of useful information can be found there, as well as our special offers, our early booking discounts on select packages. So we're always looking for ways to save you some money. How to book? That's always a common question. Well, you have a couple of ways you can do that. You can give us a call directly at 888-829-3040, and our travel consultants will help you put together your next dream vacation. Or you can go visit your local travel agent, which is always a great way to book international travel. Travel agents have decades of experience. They'll handle your flights. They can book the Railbookers package for you. You're still entitled to all the discounts that we currently offer, and they'll just be a great point of contact for you while you are on the road. Okay, so that is what I have for you today with Via Rail Vacations. I certainly hope you enjoyed the presentation. I'm more than happy now to answer your questions if you can give me a moment to browse those. Jalal is with us today asking for our brochures. Sure, Jalal, we can go ahead and get those out to you if you want to go ahead and give us a call at our 888 phone number and give us your address. I do know you put it here in the question box, but I'll lose this info once I log off. So if you want to give us a call, or you can request it online at railbookers.com. Keith is with us today, and he's asking us about customizing the Grand Circle package to include another night or two at Lake Louise, as well as in Banff, if that's possible. Of course it is. We can always customize the package any which way to your liking, Keith. Thank you, and thank you for taking the time to be here today. Carol is with us, and she wants to know a little bit more about the cross-Canada journey in terms of accessible for handicapped passengers. Yes, absolutely. Via Rail does have the handicap accessible rooms, but you'll need to notify us that that's a request of you, and we'll go ahead and handle that for you. Absolutely. Tom is here, and he's asking us, I live in the New York, upstate New York area. I'd like to possibly see Niagara Falls and then head up through the Northeast, or possibly go west. I'm not sure what I would like to do yet. No problem, Tom. We have packages that can continue up through the Northeast corridor of Canada, or if you'd like to head out west, we have both of those options for you. So just let us know what you're looking to do. Let's see here. Connor is here today, and he's asking us about deposits and payment options. So Connor, our deposits are usually $250 per person, plus the cost of trip protection insurance. And then a final payment would be due about 100 days before your departure. And of course, in between all that, you can pay off as little or as much as you'd like. So those are all the questions that have come in today so far. I do want to make sure that you guys have our business hours Monday through Friday from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Pacific. And our team is here standing by to ready to take your calls so we can put together your next dream vacation. So guys, it was an honor for you to be for me to join you today. Thank you for coming. And we look forward to seeing you on board the Via Rail with us very soon. Any last questions? Okay, great. Well, thank you guys for your time. Have a great night, and we look forward to hearing from you all very soon. Take care.